Currently 2:05 p.m. on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. This is a screen recording in order to show the pattern of conduct as it is illustrated, comparing what is the idle light source, the fake sun that's remaining over me as I documented on this day in 2024, where the fake sun is outside of my bedroom window. And I'm showing you what is, first of all, the idle fake sun that's still over the same apartment building in alignment to me. This is the evidence of stalking. And the entity that is stalking me is also engaged in a program of psychological torture. This is the entity that is doing so with real-time knowledge of all of the evidence against it being accumulated in real time, that is monitoring the evidence that the state is keeping under surveillance, while the state is subject to a federal prosecution. So this is exposing the stalker, the sex offender, and the criminal that is in a position where it is bullying an American citizen. That's what the state government represents while it's gang stalking directly and vicariously and keeping the American citizen under surveillance on the video of the internet. And this is all of that which is occurring while Tracy Banks is gang stalking me as her daughter. Understand that everything that the state is doing in concert with Tracy Banks. Everything that the people of the state are doing, it is doing in concert with Tracy Banks, who happens to be inside of the apartment while I'm capturing the same exact impossible light activity where you are stalking inside of your apartment. You are directly engaging in it. You're aware of it. You're also a psychopath that engages in it. And you're also delusional when you're engaging in that pattern of conduct and literally standing separated by a wall, a superficial barrier to where the fake sun remains over you. You are going to federal prison. You're going to a mental asylum. I just want to make sure that that is known, because the criminal conduct that this particular third party has engaged in, which are collateral to engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring with the entity, is speaking to the motivation, the motive, the criminal purpose, the mental illness behind one that would target their own daughter. So this is relevant to what, again, I spoke to on the podcast, but I wanted to go ahead and give a visual. On this day in 2024, the entity is maintaining the light source over me in Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, and this is documented on video. I am maintaining the video documentation because this is where the Los Angeles Police Department is gang stalking me on a daily basis and using the incredible and spectacular means of helicopter to do so, to communicate a threat, to obstruct justice and monitor the evidence, and also to act out its obsession with stalking me. And doing so in concert with the people of the state, where the government is gang stalking, the people of the state are gang stalking. And this is the substance of the evidence that I did document on this day in 2024. I want to show what is the evidence of that. So give me one moment. All right, I am identifying the specific environment while I am at 1806 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, California, on this day in 2024 at 3:22 p.m. This is the video evidence that I'm referencing in the video that I captured today at 12:29 p.m., where the City of Ontario, acting via the Ontario International Airport, and the City of Ontario, acting via the people of the state, are engaging in what are gang stalking, as it is identified through the remarkable environment that defies nature, it defies science, it defies that which is capable of naturally occurring. This is speaking to the malice where the system of stalking is seen on its face. All right. I mean, it's also revealing what is severe mental illness, and that is shown through relatives such as your mother that would be conspiring with the state to murder you, to kidnap you, to defame you, and doing so where it is where you live. And then moreover, doing so and increasing that level of psychological harm and threatening conduct and behavior as I am in real time, documenting it, proving it, and prosecuting it, and prosecuting not just her, but the state of California. And that is all shown through what I referenced in that video at 12:29 p.m. today. The fake sun is staying over Woodside Senior Apartments, like you saw at 9:30 in the morning. So 3 hours later, we already know that this is the P.O.C. I'm speaking to AVANATH Capital Management, who was being prosecuted, who will under no circumstances avoid a federal prosecution while they are in real time engaging in what is an ongoing communication of a threat to my life and safety in concert with Tracy Banks, doing so with impunity in concert with Tracy Banks and the entity that represents the people of the state. This is a population of demons sharing the same condition that Tracy Banks has, stalking me and having an inexplicable obsession with me. It's based on their shared condition of demon possession, where they're under this fake sun, they're in this engineered light, where I'm showing you it's laser-like conduct. It's the disappearing acts with regard to this specific environment, where the maintenance of all elements of monitoring where demons are stalking someone together as a population and as a government program. Okay, this is what I was referencing with regard to the 3:22 p.m. video of the fake sun. I'm inside of my bedroom in Los Angeles, California, and that which is occurring over, creating any sunlight on the sidewalk or on the buildings of Woodside in Ontario is not creating any sunlight through my blinds in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, nor does sunlight create magnified size of the closed blind slats, the vertical blinds. It's magnified in size on my bed and on the wall, and then you'll see the fake sun outside. Even though the engineered light on the wall and on my bed is not the explanation, because this is not sunlight, but it is the evidence of stalking under a fake sun. Okay, this is not the natural environment, as I am showing also the evidence in this video of AVANATH gang stalking. AVANATH is gang stalking with Tracy Banks, who lives at the venue, not a private residence, which is where the state is maintaining criminal surveillance in an effort to murder and kidnap an American citizen. That is myself, and I am maintaining evidence proving it in order to prosecute all of the aspects of that system: the corrupt companies, the commercial actors, the people of the state, the civilians themselves who are in the shoes of the government, not exercising any constitutionally protected rights, no privacy, no speech is underway by individuals protected by the Constitution. The government is acting maliciously with them, and they are a threat to themselves and the public, while these are mentally unstable terrorists that are running around loose, practicing this government system as a way of life. Okay. In addition to doing so while the government is being documented, this is a government that's engaging in what is threatening my life on an ongoing basis in concert with Tracy Banks, with knowledge that I'm documenting it, and doing so with impunity, in other words. I should hear this.
Where they are maintaining the elements of monitoring as they loiter in relevant position.
So this is the fake sun that's outside of my bedroom window. I am inside of building 1806 in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, and I am facing the apartment building that I'm facing is apartment building number 1818 and 1816, which is relevant regarding the direction I'm facing, the time of day that it is, the elevation. You're seeing the sun at a low elevation. It's aligned with my person on the third floor inside of that apartment building, and you're also looking at what is not sunlight, but what is evidence of stalking with a fake sun, that engineered light inside of my bedroom on my bed. And then you're going to compare that with what I documented at Alvarado Gardens already, in addition to what I can document today, because the fake sun's not going anywhere. It's going to remain here like I already have on the record.
Specific environment. This is why all of the facts.
That is speaking to where this light source is. There is no sun. That is over Woodside Senior Apartments. And this is the environment where I am showing you the entity is in real time gang stalking with including AVANATH Capital Management. This is indeed a corrupt landlord, a third party. This is the people of the state using their companies, their businesses, their employees, their products, their services and whatnot, to engage in all manner of the elements of monitoring. Okay, and so this is literally, again, speaking to what AVANATH Capital Management employees are engaged in. Today at 12:29 p.m., I am documenting the fake sun that's over my head and the audible activity that you can hear, amplified plane activity, speaking to a plane that would be flying directly over my head, but you will not see the plane flying over. That is equally an admission to stalking by an airplane. But again, the entity is just focused on the surface level. The surface level assessment at this point in the evidence is that the airports are stalking. Okay, but the entity, again, providing the amplified audible activity of a plane is as probative as seeing the plane. You are stalking using commercial planes. But nonetheless, I just want to describe to you the ineptitude of the demon possessed who are gang stalking and who are also monitoring evidence and provide this body of evidence that's incriminating themselves on each other. This is AVANATH Capital Management residing in unit number 41, going to federal prison, gang stalking with the government who's flying over, amplifying plane activity, communicating a threat. This is while I am in real time also publishing evidence on the venue of the internet at 12:29 p.m. where I'm publishing evidence online. And so this is also a criminal act of retaliation, of intimidation, communicating an impermissible threat. This is relevant to how long third parties like him are going to federal prison, okay? And this is in furtherance of murdering, kidnapping, and psychologically torturing someone in concert with the government. This is where an entity is maintaining this environment where you're seeing impossible light. This is where the entity had engineered light at the same location adjacent to the sun, adjacent to the couch, where the fake sun is present outside of the same front door, outside of the same window, illuminating underneath the patio. There's a covered patio outside. This is not sunlight. This is the entity that is monitoring evidence in real time, which is also shown through the impossible light activity. And as you'll see here, this is where I documented the same pattern of stalking with light beside the couch. This is the entity that is stalking me with impossible light activity. This was documented at 12:11 p.m. This is, again, moments later, as it's then captured on the couch itself. As you can see it will migrate to be on the couch. This is demonic. This is speaking to terrorism via engineer light, which you're going to prosecute for. It's relevant to psychological torture. This is the sex offender also that is personified through the impossible light activity. The demon possessed who are stalking as personified through the impossible light activity, and the impossible light goes from being on the side of the couch to being on the couch. This is what I documented at 12:29 p.m. This is where the Ontario International Airport is then gang stalking as I capture on video. At 12:29 p.m. the fake sun is remaining idle over the same apartment building where I am comparing it to what I already captured. You could see above at I am capturing this video at 3:46 p.m. I believe, and at 3:46 p.m. I'm gonna come back to this because I'll show you the exact time. I start the video at the same time that I'm comparing it to, same time of year analysis at 3:46, 3:47 p.m. But we can listen to that. Let's see.
Alright, it is currently, just so you can see, it's 3:46 p.m.
Yeah, so it's after 3 p.m. at the same apartment where the fake sun is idle, which you can, again, look at evidence speaking to what's over me inside of the same apartment days earlier at 12:29 p.m. This is not the natural environment, and the natural environment would provide for an ongoing moving sun, not one that is sitting idle over one apartment building, which happens to be over me, while I'm showing you also light, which is not the product of sunlight and not ever occurring through what is the sun that is outside, not creating all manner of different directions of laser-like light conduct shooting through the peephole, fanning across the cabinets, shooting across the depths of the living room, reaching underneath structures like the patio covering, etc., with regard to stalking with light. This is where surveillance is underway by AVANATH Capital Management and AVANATH Capital Management's employees. Now, what I documented at the above on February 27th is relevant to what I documented on March 2nd, this day in 2024, while that fake sun remains over me inside of this apartment like I documented. There you go. Like I documented inside of my bedroom, outside of my bedroom window, and the impossible occurrence that the sun...
Where they are maintaining by the entity that's acting direct conduct remain relevant. All of the facts.
That's speaking to an impossible occurrence, that which is over Alvarado Gardens, in alignment with my bedroom window. I'm facing building 1818, building 1816 at Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, California, 90026, is not that which is going to be over the same apartment building like I'm documenting when you're comparing what AVANATH Capital Management did today on video with the city of Ontario with impunity while monitoring evidence that is the terrorist that is threatening my life in concert with Tracy Banks while I am documenting, and that entity, including Tracy Banks, is aware of that evidence. That's speaking to impunity and malice. That is speaking to the determination of that sex offender, of that stalker, to murder somebody. And that's why they're going to federal prison, and that's why AVANATH Capital Management is being prosecuted civilly and criminally. Now, I want you to see this because this is where the fake sun remains.
Amplified plane activity. All the fake suns right over my head. That's state action. Pacing. That's P.O.C. And that's AVANATH Capital Management gang stalking with the city of Ontario. This is all the pacing. In the loud roaring of amplified plane activity, these are demons that are communicating a threat. And this is a fake sun that's sitting over Alvarado Gardens at the same time, over my head in the same manner. That's license 8TCJ823. And again, any immigrants gang stalking are going to be deported.
I want you to see the fake sun.
Next to me while they're under...
The entity comes onto the grounds of Woodside Senior Apartments, which AVANATH is going to be prosecuted for. They're profiting while federal group stalking and monitoring is happening on their property. And where you see the fake sun at 12:29 in the afternoon. This is what I documented. The fake sun remains here while I'm looking outside of the patio glass door. Okay, this is a 600 square foot apartment. So just to give you a bigger picture, this is not a huge apartment. This is where I'm looking at. This is the front door. and this is the patio glass door here. So you're talking about a very small area where the fake sun is remaining for over 8 hours as I'm looking out the front door, as I'm looking out of the patio glass door, where a fake sun, by definition, speaking to a malicious system of surveillance and a program of psychological torture, while I am enforcing my rights and documenting the fact that the government is stalking me in concert with Tracy Banks, in concert with the people of the state who know exactly who I am and know exactly what it is that I'm doing, while I am documenting that at 3:46 p.m., like I documented February 27th, you will see AVANATH Capital Management engaging in gang stalking with knowledge and impunity and malice, in the same way that you see here with the city of Ontario under that idle fake sun. Doing so again, while I document, the entity becomes more and more chaotic with regard to the amplified noise. That's psychological torture. More and more demonic with the light activity. That's irrelevant with regard to psychological torture, and with regard to the government's direct engagement in the pattern of conduct, such as amplified plane activity, or amplified helicopter activity, or amplified sound of sirens, or amplified sound of the train, etc., etc. That's the government proof admitting that it's stalking, by the way, through the audible activity amongst what is the engineer light under a fake sun. This is the system of group stalking, and this is what I documented while I am capturing them.
So there's the fake sun in perfect alignment with me at the same time in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens. I'm standing at building 1806 at this time. That's 1806 North Alvarado Street, Los Angeles, California. Again, this is February 23rd, 2024. This is time of year analysis regarding recognizing what the natural environment does and where stalking by a government that is engaging in what is practicing a demonic system of gang stalking an American citizen, surrounding them with the demon possessed, who are maliciously targeting one person as an entire community at all times and at all places. And it is shown through, it is proven by the maintenance in the way that you see here. The sun that's remaining over, again, you saw our...
So when you're looking at this fake sun, this is the same building that you're looking at right here. He's walking by. This is unit number 41. This is at 12:29 in the afternoon. This is called crossing path while he's walking in not sunlight. This is engineered light. The significance of this engineered light is relevant to what is the monitoring purposes of what you know is a demon. This is a demon-possessed person. This is somebody that is stalking conspicuously, and also stalking conspicuously one who is aware of it and is acting with impunity in doing so. Okay, the entity is doing so while you're looking at this same apartment building above. This is the same apartment building, apartment number 41. While that fake sun that's over me inside of, while I'm at the same apartment, 12:29 p.m. This is at 3:46 p.m. and this is the idle presence of a fake sun, where this same employee, representing what Linda Reyes and every other employee at Woodside, engaging in ongoing obsessive stalking with Tracy Banks. And every other, I just want to be clear, this is a system that all of my relatives are engaged in, seeking to sacrifice me, murder me, that is, with the state. That's using every police department, where I am exposing the gang stalking by helicopter, using every sheriff's department, where I'm documenting the same thing. Gang stalk, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department was gang stalking me with helicopter as well. I documented that. But the entity is engaging in that P.O.C., also using their police vehicles. I've documented the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department gang stalking in their police vehicles, for example, in Victorville, in Hesperia, where San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is the policing agency, and they're under a fake sun. There's a whole body of evidence that is relevant to what Woodside Senior Apartments is practicing in concert with Tracy Banks. Okay, the entity is doing so while you're looking at what is the evidence of the supernatural. The evidence of the supernatural is speaking to malice by the state. In doing so, I want to be clear, I'm prosecuting AVANATH Capital Management for gang stalking me through its employees, which AVANATH Capital Management is aware of and shall be held accountable for.
GS group stalking under the fake sun this morning. The fake sun is at the same address, speaking to what RGS was doing, not lawful landscaping. The malicious engagement through a commercial means of federal group stalking and monitoring. Those gang stalkers are going to be prosecuted, and if any of them are immigrants gang stalking, those are going to be deported. And that's the same analysis and the process for prosecuting domestic terrorism in the state. This fake sun that's in alignment to me here is not going to be in perfect alignment with Tracy Banks' patio glass door, and that's how you see AVANATH practice.
That's the intentional engagement and what is referred to as crossing a path. This is somebody that is stalking. The significance of stalking is that you don't have to have one person that's following you from place to place. You have a population that's maintaining presence around you and movement in engineered light. This is not normal light, and it's also not a normal environment when you're looking at an idle light source, which ordinarily be referred to as the sun. Stalking is accomplished by mere presence and activity created in this environment, which is entirely engineered. And you have what are corrupt companies who, through their employees and through their properties and through their services, are gang stalking, and they intentionally and knowingly do so. This is not a coincidence. While he is gang stalking today with the Ontario International Airport, whose plane activity is amplified greater and loud volume, while I'm publishing evidence onto the video of the internet under a fake sun that's idle over your apartment building. This is again a body of evidence. He does the same thing with the Ontario Police Department, it also in concert with minor children that he is in custody of. This is a violent sex offender monitoring my genitalia under a fake sun and engineered light, which is the sexual violence practiced by the state of California in concert with Tracy Banks. I just wanted to capture this so that this is aware, that this is recognized with regard to the entity that is indeed gang stalking, and that is AVANATH Capital Management, just like Speaker Companies is. And that's the purpose that I captured this video the other day, where the entity keeps an idle fake sun, which is exactly what is proven while I have video and images of the light source rising over me at Woodside Senior Apartments, and I can show you same time of day analysis, same time of year analysis regarding what is not a natural environment. And in the unnatural environment, stalking by a population that is acting together in furtherance of a conspiracy to murder and kidnap an American citizen in concert with their parents, their spouse, their friends, their relatives, their co-workers, their strangers whose name you don't have to know. Okay, this is what is underway while I'm documenting that, and AVANATH Capital Management is being prosecuted. All of the documentation speaking to psychological torture, stalking by the demon in unit number 55, stalking with noise, stalking with light, while I'm documenting molestation, the engineered light that is fanning inside of this apartment. That is fanning about inside of this apartment as I am capturing it. Let's recall the supernatural occurrence that I'm documenting on an ongoing basis regarding that pattern of conduct, such as the fake sun that's idle at 1:39 p.m.
People of the state, third-party AVANATH Capital Management. So this is engineered light that's appearing at a tremendous distance from the covered patio. Okay,
and then you're mindful. Okay, so there is this. I want you to look at that. But I want you to remember what you just saw, the engineered light that appears and disappears on the floors all around me through the peephole. It's appearing next to me, moving closer, touching all the surfaces around me, reaching underneath. This is a supernatural occurrence. That's not sunlight. It's also not sunlight while the sun is over Alvarado Gardens. That's how you're understanding the literal meaning behind the words that I'm speaking. The entity is, and why is that? Because there's only one sun. So this is speaking to what is necessarily more than one sun. And none of this is sunlight, as you can see it fanning out through closed blinds. Outside is a covered patio. This is impossible light that's reaching inside. Okay. This is speaking to the objective of placement of this light that is not normal light around me and movement around it and maintenance of noise amongst it. This is the criminal interference with quiet enjoyment by the gang stalking landlords, property owners, etc., like AVANATH Capital Management, like Speaker Companies. And when you're looking at this maintenance of this engineered light inside of the apartment, evidence of stalking in concert with Tracy Banks, whose apartment this is. You don't have to get out of your bed. She's gang stalking in her bedroom. You don't have to ever get out of your bed. You don't have to say anything to me, but she foolishly does. All right. You don't have to have any conversation while I'm documenting impossible light activity, the evidence of stalking where you live under an idle sun. And I am capturing that as an ongoing pattern where I'm showing a body of evidence, same time of year analysis, where the entity is maintaining a light source over me in an entirely, that's the significance of what I'm documenting in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens. Okay. That's the significance of capturing the sun outside of my bedroom window. And this is, again, speaking to a pattern of conduct that there's a wealth of documentation to that end. This is why you document, because you're dealing with malice. You're dealing with a public corruption by a government. You're dealing with an entity that relies on its identity as a means to rebut evidence that the ordinary target individual doesn't have. So their word of mouth is not sufficient. Okay. But from now on, establishing that the entity is stalking, it shall be. You can produce, and you need to produce evidence of documentation of it, but it is nothing that is speaking to anything that the government can any longer falsely diagnose someone, that is defame them while they're practicing witchcraft. Literally, by the way, that's what Satan intends to do, is defame you. This is to crush your testimony. But regarding the criminal conduct, this is criminal defamation, and also to engage in any theft of the targeted individual's property, stealing even their identity while they want to defame your character, and also the loss of life, murdering that targeted individual. This is where an entity is keeping a fake sun, where it is at 3:17 p.m. outside of this same patio glass door. It is not outside of, this is captured days ago, February 28, 2025, is same time of your analysis, same time of day, while I'm capturing the fake sun outside of my bedroom window, like I did on this day in 2024 at 3:22 p.m. Okay, so this is speaking to, again, knowledge of the
Saturday,
fact
March
of what it is that I'm
2nd,
documenting.
2024. It's currently 3:22 p.m. This is documentation to the entity that's acting of conduct remain by all of the facts.
The entity that is gang stalking me under a fake sun is doing so intentionally, knowingly, deliberately, and obsessively, in concert with Tracy Banks. Okay, and this is speaking to the intent to do so under a fake sun, and doing so while you're crossing path. That's how stalking by a population is accomplished. And this is where also the entity is engaging in terrorism.
All right, here is more evidence that's serving to prosecute the people of the state, third-party AVANATH Capital Management. So this is engineer light that's appearing at a tremendous distance from the covered patio. Okay, and the fake sun is outside above the same apartment building where I'm located. And so as you can, well, you can't see, here's my hand. The light is shooting across horizontally, and it's creating...
This is demonic. This is the evidence of what are demons who are stalked. It's not just evidence of the fact that I am subject to surveillance. You need to understand the demon possessed are practicing a secret surveillance system. This is not some unsupported conspiracy theory. This is evidence proving that this is a demonic occurrence right here. That I could not manufacture. I can't make this up. So you have to prosecute, because Satan is a liar. The demon possessed are malicious. The demon possessed are amongst government actors, the government itself, and so is the population. And these gang members are demon possessed, and they're stalking together. And the evidence of this demonic light appearing inside of the depths of an apartment where you live, you could stay in your bed all day long. You're going to federal prison. This one's going to a mental asylum.
Shadow inside of my shadow is appearing inside, and it's a magnified size of my hand. This is speaking to criminal surveillance that's happening.
I want you to pay attention, because you see these pictures here. This is pictures of the defendant who's going to be prosecuted for gang stalking me. This is her apartment where the engineer light is occurring. This is her place of residence where the fake sun is remaining over me while I'm in your vehicle, and the fake sun is remaining over me. That includes public transportation such as Omnitrans, where I am at your police station and the fake sun is over me, where I am at your grocery store and the fake sun is over me, while I'm inside of your Starbucks and the fake sun is over me, while I'm at the city library, your library, and the fake sun is over me. You will be prosecuted as the malicious system of federal group stalking and monitoring is identified therein through an entirely demonic environment, one that defies nature. And it is designed to psychologically torture, to gaslight the one whom the demons are targeting in order to murder and kidnap that person.
At a tremendous distance from the covered patio. Okay, and the fake sun is outside above the same apartment building where I'm located. And so as you can, well, you can't see, here's my hand. The light is shooting across horizontally, and it's creating shadow inside of my shadow is appearing inside.
This is where AVANATH Capital Management is proven as a gang stalking landlord, not a legitimate real estate owner or property management company. They're maliciously gang stalking with the state, and they're also gang stalking via their employees, and they're also gang stalking via their residents, and they're also gang stalking through the people of the state, free to come onto their grounds and engage in federal group stalking and monitoring with it and with the state.
And it's a magnified size of my hand. This is speaking to criminal surveillance that's happening at what is not a private residential area or property. It's a facility and venue for surveillance. And this is also documentation of what is malice and impunity by a corrupt company, including RGS, that comes onto the ground gang stalking with the company, the employees, the residents, and the city of Ontario, the population itself that's coming onto the grounds gang stalking as one entity. And the fact that I'm capturing ongoing iterations of impossible light activity, the more that I document, yeah, that's P.O.C. I've documented this before. This is the conduct of the demon possessed. Okay? That's the conduct of the demon.
That's documentation of ongoing psychological torture. All right, proven through the impossible light activity, proven through the documentation of the fake sun, proven through the stalking via amplified noise, such as the demon in unit number 55, acting with the entity that acts directly. Okay, and also vicariously the very entity at Woodside, which is again what the entity provides me a wealth of evidence of, speaking to its impunity while it's going to federal prison for it. All right, and this is the surrounding environment where they are criminally interfering with quiet enjoyment regarding to the prosecution of property owners that are engaged in domestic terrorism with the government. It is currently 2:40 p.m. Go ahead and capture the stationary maintenance of the fake sun in alignment to me. The entity is still engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring in concert with Tracy Banks, all right, and is doing so while monitoring also the evidence. And this is the state government that's monitoring and interfering with the federal investigation, speaking to the impunity of the state government, the impunity of the population that's gang stalking, and this is going to be the prosecution of a government practicing a sex offense, engaging in a sex offense against an American citizen, and doing so with impunity. That is, the more that I document, the more that I publish, the more that I enforce my rights, the more violence, the more terrorism, the more psychologically harmful conduct that the entity engages in. This is not sunlight, it's impossible light. And this is because they're obsessed with me. That sexual violence, that obsession is personified through the light conduct. It's appearing through the peephole, it's appearing on the floor, appearing on the couch, appearing on the walls, appearing on the cabinets, appearing on the ceiling, illuminating inside of the apartment in order that my shadow appear on the ceiling. This is all documented. The obsession of the demon possessed who are stalking is personified through the impossible light activity and the fake sun documentation. And this is all in concert with Tracy Banks. It is currently, again, 2:41 p.m. This is P.O.C.